Hey there, fighters. Today we're diving into a punch-packed countdown of the best 10 fighting games of all time with the best story modes. The ones that didn't just throw hands, but pulled us deeper into their world and made us really feel something in between the uppercuts and reminded us why we fell in love with the genre in the first place. And no, this isn't just about who had the flashiest fatalities or the sickest combos. We're here for the narratives that really hit harder than a raging demon. So buckle up, crack those knuckles, and we'll jump right in. Soulcalibur 6. Now, if you love exploring dungeons and RPG mechanics, then you probably fell in love with Soulcalibur 2, but Soulcalibur 6 deserves the spotlight here. This game didn't just bring back the blade, it reset the timeline. It tossed out the clutter from Soulcalibur 4 and Soulcalibur 5 that tried to introduce a lot of lore, but honestly, it was so incoherent. So they reintroduced our favorite warriors with more clarity, better pacing, and emotional weight. This helped new players and returning players catch up to the story quickly and decisively. And let's not forget Libra of Soul. That campaign alone made this one of the best entries in the franchise. You create your own character, learn from styles from legacy fighters, and go on to personal soul-saving quests. It's very immersive, super satisfying, and honestly, this is the exact reboot that the series needed. Skullgirls. This one is super chaotic. Skullgirls isn't just stylish, it's unhinged in all the best ways. You got drama, dark comedy, and a heartbreak all roll into one beautifully hand-drawing frames. Each character's journey towards the skull heart, it feels super personal, and the DLC characters for stories is equally strong and enjoyable. Parasol, Peacock, and Pinwheel all steal the show in this game, and they're super amazing to play with. If you're a fan of unique flair mixed with serious narrative chops, then this game ultimately delivers. Dragon Ball Z, Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Ah yes, this is the holy grail of fighting games. Say what you will about the newer Dragon Ball Z games, Budokai Tenkaichi 2 was the king of all Dragon Ball Z games. It didn't just retell Dragon Ball Z, it gave us GT, Brawl, Cooler, Tree of Might, Fusion Reborn, the history of Trunks, and Bardock. The sheer scope of the story mode was unmatched. It feels like you were living through the decades of Dragon Ball Z, whether you felt like you were replaying all of it or rewatching the anime, you felt that you were immersed in all of Dragon Ball Z's lore. This game is for the fans, period. If you love Dragon Ball Z, then you definitely played this game and you know that passion. Injustice, God Among Us. Injustice took a bold, dark concept and turned Superman into a tyrant, and it made it feel raw and ultimately scary. It wasn't just a what, it was the how. The writing, the pacing, the weight of each betrayal, adding in those mini games in between fights where you could gain a buff or a penalty, it kept the whole campaign super dynamic and interesting. This wasn't just a good fighting game story, it was one of the best superhero narratives in gaming, period. WWE 2K14. Let's be real, the WWE 2K series was a hot mess for a long time. Think back to WWE 2K19, that was almost unplayable until the next release came out. But ever since Visual Concepts took over, the turnaround has been amazing, and 2K24 is easily the best outline yet. You've got the showcase mode, a love letter to WrestleMania's history. You can go back and play through all years of WrestleMania and relive the highlights of each WrestleMania that tells WWE history. You can have different WWE superstars who didn't originally win, and it'll tell you a what if or what happened if that superstar won instead of the history's current. The My Rise mode, where your creative superstars climb the rank, build rivalries, and tells its own stories and have a unique path and what it's like to be a WWE superstar. And the Cody Rhodes campaign is an absolute chill. You get to relive the story once again in a new breathtaking tone. This is exactly what wrestling games should be, a celebration of the industry and a personal journey all in one. Street Fighter 6. Capcom had to bring the heat with Street Fighter 6, and man, they really delivered. The World Tour mode changed everything. For the first time, we got to make our own street brawler. travel the globe, and meet legends like Ryu and Chun-Li and learn from them. It really made you feel like you were a part of the universe and you got to hang out with each of your favorite characters and learn more deeply about them. You weren't just an observer. It was still Street Fighter at its core, but somehow it had more of an RPG soul into it. I look forward in the upcoming series and see if they take that dynamic even further. Tekken 8. If Tekken 7 laid the groundwork, then Tekken 8 blew it open. The story mode in this one is very next level. Cinematics blend right into fights, quick time events force you to pay attention, and the return of Tekken Force mode was very unexpected, and more importantly, it was glorious. You can tell they went all in. The storytelling, the cinematography, the drama, it's a reminder why this series still sits on the gaming thrones of fighting games. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Let's be honest, fan fiction usually sucks, but Subspace and Mercenary in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, it was one of the best fanfics ever written. Nintendo characters teaming up, saving each other, fighting a cosmic force, all woven together by Sakura and Nojima. Yes, the Final Fantasy guy. It was fun, it was deep, and it somehow never felt cheesy. World of Light and Ultimate tried to recapture the magic years later, but it didn't feel the same at all. Nothing could compare to Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Def Jam Fight for New York. This one right here, this one hits a little different. Most fighting games back then didn't really care about story at all. They just threw you in the ring and told you to throw punches. But Def Jam Fight for New York, it gave you customization, a real progression arc, and more importantly, a lot of drama. You started as a nobody, just a little street kid, and by the end, you ran New York City. It was raw, it was gritty, it was hype, and the cast, you know, it was legendary. To the day, it's still one of the most sincere fighting game stories out there. 2011's Mortal Kombat. Some fans love Deception's quest mode, and it was great, but Mortal Kombat 9, it rewrote history. It retold the original trilogy with better writing, bigger fights, and perfect campy energy. Every fighter had their moment. Johnny Cage brought out the labs, Scorpion brought the fire, and it set the bar for how future fighting game stories should be handled. So how about you guys? Which fighting game hit the hardest for you? Drop it in the comments. And if you like this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitch. Until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and stay alpha.